Hello students, hope so you are doing well, and today our point of discussion is proteins. In the previous lecture of the chapter 2 of part 1 biological molecules, we have discussed about the introduction, importance of carbon, importance of water and carbohydrates and their classification, monosaccharide, disaccharides and polysaccharides. And after that we have discussed the lipids and their classifications, uh, acyl glycerol, and we discussed phospholipid, waxes and terpenoids. And today our point of discussion is the proteins. Actually proteins are very important organic compounds, and they are composed normally, they are composed of 50% of the dry weight of any cell. So these are very important. For example, if you have a cell and you weigh up it, and if the weight is 100 gram, then the over 50%, like 50 gram, will be the protein. And they are present, proteins are most abundant organic compounds to be found in cells and comprise over 50% of the total dry weight. They are present in all types of cell and all parts of the cell. And what are the functions? The our point of discussion next point is that what are the functions of the protein? Proteins perform many functions. For example, if we have the structures, the enzymes, actually enzymes are the made up of proteins, and these are very important compounds, and no life possible without enzymes. And as a hormone, and hormones regulate many mechanisms inside the body, and many hormones are required for growth and different a lot of functions. And we have a protein called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin helps the transport of many materials. And after that we have the antibodies. Antibodies work against any antigen or any pathogen that has entered in body. After that, blood clotting proteins, which are the thrombin, fibrinogen, and blood clotting proteins are very necessary when you are, yeah, you get injury. So, and there are a lot of proteins that are act as anticoagulant or anti-clotting. These are heparin, and sometimes these are some other proteins that are very important, which are the histamine, which is inflammatory in action and cause inflammation, which is a protective or defensive mechanism. And last function is that movement of organs and organisms and movement of chromosome during anaphase. As you see the cell division, the phase anaphase, first of all there is a metaphase, sorry, first of all is a prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. So in the anaphase, chromosomes separate apart, and this movement is accompanied by the proteins. So let's start with the reading. Proteins perform many functions. They build many structure of the cell. All enzymes are proteins, and in this way they control the whole metabolism of cell. As hormones, protein regulate the metabolic process. Some protein, hemoglobin, work as a carrier and transport many substances like oxygen, lipids, and metal ions. Some proteins called antibodies defend body against pathogens. Blood clotting proteins prevent the loss of blood from the body after the injury. And there are a lot of that are the anti-clotting or anticoagulants, which are the heparin. And movement of organism and movement of chromosome during anaphase of cell division are caused by proteins. So these were the function, very important long question. And after that, the structure of protein. And if you see, proteins are the polymers of amino acids, and they contain CHON. You can see NOCH, NOCH. Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon and hydrogen may be present. And there are lot of amino acids that are attached with the peptide bonds and form the structure of proteins. Proteins are the polymer of amino acids and compound containing carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and hydrogen. The number of amino acids varies from few to 3000 or even more in different proteins. Next is the amino acids. Actually, amino acid is the isomer, you can say the monomer, sorry, not isomers, actually it is a monomer of protein. And amino acids, there are almost 170 types of amino acids that are present in any cell or in any tissue. And out of 170, only 25 are the constituents of the proteins, which can help and in the formation of protein. And most of protein in our body are made up of just 20 types of amino acids. Amino acids, about 170 types of amino acid have been occur in cells and tissues. Of these, about 25 are the constituents of proteins. Most of the proteins are, however, made up of 20 types of amino acids. Next is the structure of amino acid. It is very important short question. The basic structure of any amino acid is that there is a one carbon. It is called the alpha carbon. And the carbon actually which is attached to the functional group, that is COOH and H2N, both are functional group actually. It is called the alpha carbon. And one side is a carboxylic group. Why it is called carboxylic group? Due to CO, carbonyl and hydroxyl. And it is called carboxylic group, and it is the amino group. And one is R attached. R may be any, like it is a alkyl group actually. It may be methyl, it may be ethyl, it may be propyl, and so on. So it is the basic structure of amino acid. Let's start the reading of structure portion. All the amino acids have an amino group and a carboxylic group attached to the same carbon atom, also known as alpha carbon. They have a general formula as, and R. Actually, there are difference in structure of amino acids and different classification of amino acid due to the R group. It is very important MCQ. Due to R group, different amino acid vary from each other. For example, in glycine, R group is hydrogen, only hydrogen, and in alanine it is a CH3 methyl group. So R may be hydrogen atom as in lysine and CH3 as in alanine, or any other group. So amino acids mainly differ due to type of nature of R group. Okay, amino acids are linked together to form polypeptide proteins. The amino group of one amino acid may react with the carboxylic group of another, releasing a molecule of water. For example, glycine and alanine may combine. You can see here the peptide bond. Actually, what is peptide bond? The carboxylic group COOH. This is a carboxylic group, and it may react with the amino group H2N. It is amino group, and hydrogen of amino group of one amino acid and hydroxyl of carboxylic group of one amino acid. Actually, these are forming water molecule, and the removal of water molecule, it is called the condensation, and water molecule will be removed and the bond will be formed between COO, and it will direct to the nitrogen. The bond will be CN, and it is the peptide bond. CO, it was the carboxyl group, and NH, it was the amino group. So it is a glycine, as you can see R group is hydrogen, and alanine, as you can see R group is methyl group. So the product will be the, or dipeptide will be the glycine glycyl alanine. So this was the structure of basic structure of peptide bond. It is also very important short question. What is a peptide bond?